happened to a Chicano on this level before?
Tears. Still is the most successful Latino film ever made. We have been here and we have contributed.
What we don't have is enough people telling those stories that reaffirm our humanity and reaffirm our presence in America.
Hey, Latino Slant Daring. What? We made this. We made the trailer, Fletcher.
That's right.
I don't even know if David knows that, but we made the trailer.
Well, if people are maybe don't know, you've actually watched Luis Valdez, even if you're not artsy or anything like that, he is the voice behind Tio Berto in Coco. So your kids had him playing all in your thing. So you know who he is.
So this is really cool, guys. This is really cool. Is that we have the filmmaker of American Pachuco now in theaters, AMC, all that stuff. This is really a great a feat for a documentary, especially on on a subject matter as this. You'd expect to just to kind of stay on PBS or something like that, but it's in the theaters for all you guys to see. Why don't we bring him on right now? Fletcher, he's the director of American Pachuco, award-winning, Sundance, all that stuff. David Alvarado.
Yeah. How are you doing?
Hey, what's up, buddy? How are you?
I'm really good. Oh, look at that.
Look at that.
Sound effects. That's great.
When I talked to your people, I said, man, have them come on the live, and this is what you get, live production
this is great.
quality.
I love it. Yeah, thanks for showing the trailer. It's just it's always fun, and I always catch that Latino slant one too. It's a great quote. I appreciate that.
Well, Rosa loved it, and what's interesting is that she didn't really grow up in the Chicano movement like I did. I mean, I lived and breathed for a long time. I went to Cesar's funeral.
Wow.
And I'm just this spoke to me. Jorge Huerta is my teacher's teacher.
Yeah. He's such a great guy. I love that guy.
Wonderful. So let me just ask you this: what prompted you to make this? To be the director of this documentary? Because it sounds like you come from a different background. I mean, you're Chicano, but you know what I'm saying? Like, how did that happen?
Yeah. Well, I come from my background in professionally is science and technology. So I made a film about Bill Nye the Science Guy, Stuart Brand, who's an environmentalist, or I've directed television shows like the science program on PBS Nova, like What is the Brain, that kind of stuff. So I've always loved science, but the way that I became a science filmmaker was that I was raised in Texas, and I met Luis Valdez when I was 21 years old, and I was just a wannabe filmmaker. In film school, I had no vision for how to get there. It just my dad, who was an immigrant from Mexico, was like, you should go to business school, not film school. He's probably right. But, I felt like I didn't know how to get where I was going. And when Luis Valdez came to my school and told me the story of being, born in Delano and then, doing theater in the back of a flatbed truck and then going to Broadway and Hollywood, it just opened my mind. It showed me a path. And so I've been a huge fan of his ever since. And of course, La Bamba, I watched it as a kid a 1,000 times. Me and my sister, that film meant so much to us. And then I had a chance to reflect on my career, about 2021, trying to remember how I got to this point in my career. And I remembered meeting Luis Valdez. And so that's where this all started. I just wondered, like, why is there not a documentary on Luis Valdez?
So listen, you had a lot of footage to pull from.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, that's my dryer going off. This is the Slant Studios, aka half my laundry room.
Nice.
So how did you decide what to pull? Because I know you were talking because I met you for a second the other night. you weren't able just to pull what you wanted. You had to take it all, then digitize it all. Is that correct?
Yeah. So the University of California, Santa Barbara, amazing library institution, amazing Chicano studies program there. They had hosted all of Luis's archive, but the problem is it was still in its celluloid form, meaning it was just these big canisters of film. We weren't allowed to open up the films to see which one was in there, and it's very expensive to digitize film, especially at 4K. We wanted to film, we wanted to capture this film and get it at high resolution. So not only for our movie, but for the future, this is like World Heritage stuff we're talking about, Chicano theater, footage and other archival elements that need to be preserved. And so at great expense and great effort, we just digitized the whole thing. We just took the whole crate. We got it shipped to Pennsylvania to these experts that are good at this kind of thing. And they just did the whole crate. And what that ended up being was 80,000 feet. So, I've been saying, like, 80,000 feet of film is, when you're in an airplane, you're only 40,000 feet in the air. So, I mean, it's a giant planetary scale project to digitize all that. And we did it. And, how do you determine what to use in any documentary? Well, for me, it's always been focus. I wanted to focus on key issues in his life. This question of belonging. Why did Luis grow up in a world where he, as an American, felt like he didn't belong here? And then tie that through the trajectory of his work, the key works that he's done. And he's done so much. Like the film's sort of an embarrassment of not including so much in his body of work. I mean, we focus on like a handful of things.
Right, correct. Still, like his theater work. Because I remember going to see Bandido. I saw it, I was like, oh man, David ended it, and I was just like, exactly. Yeah, but it's just like a taster for what Luis has done. And so, I hope it stands as a beacon for his body of work, and it calls people to it. And then once they get there, they know that they can go and find all the other, pieces of gold that are there to be discovered. And so, so just trying to understand the focus of Luis's quest through these very few of his works. And then, in the film, the question of his family, his siblings' relationships, his brother,
his older brother, Frank, that showed itself to me as the sort of personal side, story through line that I wanted to focus on. So, once you kind of have your plan in place, it's easy to it's still a lot of work, but at least the decisions in all their small forms are easier to make when you know what your focus is. And so that's the answer.
Okay, so Fletcher has the AMC up. I mean, this is quite a feat. And what the thing that we do here, which we love to do, is we have Latino filmmakers come on with their works. And it's fascinating to see how they got it to the public. Unexpected, the movie got it through Kevin Smith as the executive producer. You get Kevin Smith, it's going to open doors.
Yeah.
How did this? Because I know you work with PBS, but that being said, you guys are in AMC right now. This is a documentary. How did this happen, brother?
Yeah. So it's DIY, to be totally honest. I mean, PBS have been incredible partners. They have the broadcast rights, but we've retained the theatrical rights, and nobody stepped up. No theatrical distributor stepped up to help it. So we were faced with the decision: do we just, do the film festivals, which are great, and then do the broadcasts, which are great, or do we take that step in between and take it to the streets, like where actually people can get together, watch this film, have a conversation with it? I mean, I've been traveling every single day since, I guess July 17th, different cities. And it's just been incredible, the amount of response. People are just, pouring themselves into this. We are filling up the theaters. Most of them are getting sold out, not just in Los Angeles, but New York City, and so it's just been an incredible response. And we just, frankly, we raised the money to hire the team to do it. The team is doing it now. We're actually running out of money again. So we're at a point where we're launching a Kickstarter just to keep the show on the road. So you can find us on Kickstarter if you want to help it and get some cool swag for Luis Valdez and American Pachuco, T-shirts and all sorts of things. And so,
do you have those links available?
Yeah, I do.
So what you could do later on, send them to me, and then on the replay, I'll put the links in the comments.
Okay, that's great.
Not a problem, because we do want to support that. I'll support that. I do want a cool swag, but I want to give it my money And I encourage my crew, the Slantinos in our live audience, and people watching us on the replay, to come and check out American Pachuco. Why the title American Pachuco? I'm just curious.
Well, yeah, the Pachuco. I remember we used to call it the Ballad of Luis Valdez, and that was a little like more friendly for like especially non-Spanish speaking audiences and people who didn't know what a
I
Pachuco
like that.
was.
Yeah.
And but like I started, there's like so many films with the name the Ballad of so and so, and so I started once we started to lock the film. It became clear to me like the Pachuco really is the spirit of this thing. Like it's about Luis, sure, but it's also about what he tapped into. And he tapped into the spirit of the Chicano community from its indigenous roots all the way up to contemporary, modern 21st century Chicano. Somebody like me, I'm a mixed kid that's trying to, grew up in this country, trying to figure out where I belong and who my people are and where we're going. And that Pachuco runs through all of that. And so I decided, you know what, it seems like the English speaking population learns maybe 2 to 3 words of Spanish a decade, like you get like fiesta one year, burrito another year, La Vida Loca came in with, the song and like, oh, there's 3 words there in one decade. And so, maybe this should be the decade of the Pachuco, where everybody in America knows the history of the Pachuco, can comfortably say it. If people are talking about, the Zoot Suit riots in the 1940s, they know what you're talking about, so like maybe it's time for us to extend that to the rest of America.
And another thing too, guys, with these Q&As and things you've been hustling, Lou Diamond Phillips, Isai Morales, you're seeing Jimmy Smits, really some great Latino actors, great actors, period, supporting what you're doing, man. How have those Q&As have been?
Oh, they're great. I mean, everybody loves Lou Diamond Phillips and Luis Valdez.
Oh, yeah.
They've been incredible. So, like nobody comes out for me. I don't think so. That
not yet. Now they are.
Well, I don't even care.
It's
like I want them to see the movie, and I want to be there
Yes.
and witness the community because more often than not, it becomes people are it's not that they're asking questions; it's that they want to tell me their stories. My father was part of that grape strike. My tío, like we used to work with the teatro, like that. These are the stories that I want to hear. And so when I go to these Q&As, I just want to connect and hear the rest of the story. And so, that's been what's been powerful about this.
And there is the chulo himself, David Alvarado, got all the info there as well. And man, people are saying, please list the Kickstarter. We'll get it up to Watari, because Watari is great at supporting, stuff that kind of just
great.
independent film and documentaries. Let me ask you this one last question, and we'll get you out of here. Suppose I'm not raza, but I'm an American.
Mm-hmm.
Suppose I'm a little right-leaning from center.
Mm-hmm.
Why would I come and watch something like this?
Well, you know what?
I'm a fan of La Bamba, but hey.
Yeah. Well, I haven't heard a lot of pushback against the film. I mean, we very intentionally did not make the political side of this feel very contemporary on the surface. I mean, we had to talk early on, should we be showing the ICE raids at the end of the film? I mean, here's a film about belonging in America, and we find ourselves at a time when people are asking themselves who belongs in America and questioning if someone belongs here on the way that they look. I mean, that maybe we should start, the film ends in ICE raids. And, we felt early on like that's the wrong answer, because there's something more real and perennial to this. It's not just of the moment. It is of the moment, but it's much deeper than that. I mean, the America that people, when you're here in Los Angeles, if you were to look at a Mexican American, a Chicano, and say, hey, do you belong here? I mean, the question itself is absurd. I mean, California used to be Mexico. It's just a thing that kind of will come out of the film in a very natural way, and it's not in an overtly political way. But I don't think it would scare away the conservatives. If anything, I think they'd come away learning something and appreciate something, even if they aren't willing to admit it.
I that's a very nice way of saying it, and I would actually agree. that it's very accessible. Luis is one of a kind, and what he fought for and what he's still fighting for. It should be, to me, he's up there with a lot of great American patriots. It's incredible, like a Malcolm X, a Tom Paine. You can go back, all the way. Luis Valdez is up there. And you show that very well, David.
Thank you. Well, thank you. Brother. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate you sharing it with your audience. I mean, we're trying to get the word out because we're still running it in theaters across California. They just extended it in New York so now it's running 3 weeks in New York.
Wow.
They'll probably extend it in LA if people show up, which they have been. So if it becomes a 1 week run, becomes a 2 week run, then we need to get the word out even more so that people know, And I just launched this Kickstarter like maybe 30 minutes, like an hour ago. So we have
so then
we have $300. So
right. So we're the first to announce this with you guys. Here's the Kickstarter. This is to help the marketing PR campaign keep going, guys.
It's tanks of gas, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm driving to Orange, Ontario, driving up to San Francisco on Thursday. We're bringing Luis and Lou Diamond Phillips and Eddie wherever we can. That costs money. So it's like it keeps the show going. It keeps people coming, keeps us coming to the towns and making sure that we can make events out of it so that other people in those communities know about it. I was in Orange, California just last night, sold out an AMC, a big, huge theater, AMC. And, now all those people can tell all their friends about it and keep coming back that week. And so, that's what we're trying to do, get the word out by having these events. And so, these dollars go directly into those efforts and make it possible to continue the show and bring this film to America.
There you guys have it. It's different. There's different levels of this too, right? So
we got Pachuco posters, we got pins. We built these 6 foot long standees with Pachuco that you can see in movie theaters now. And if you want, you can buy one of those. We'll have Luis Valdez sign it. You can keep it in your den. You can keep it in your garage or put it on your wall. Like, you can have a piece of theatrical history if you support it. Or for $50, you get a Pachuco pen, which is like an enamel pen you could wear to show that you're a supporter. But more importantly, we're going to have a legacy copy of this film. The Library of Congress is going to hold a copy of this, meaning like forever. And across Chicano libraries and universities across the country will be holding their own copies. You can have your name in the credits of the film forever as being one of the people that supported this film and made this theatrical run happen. So for $50, that's nothing, and it'll just show. Especially, I'm more excited about just showing how many names have made this film happen. So you could be a part of the historical record of this film having been created by a community, not just PBS. And so just smash the button, follow us on Kickstarter. If you can't give $50. Honestly, $5 means so much. Like $5, that pulls up the algorithm so that like it knows that there's a new backer. So like if you and like 10 of your family members did $5, that's 10 new backers. That makes the algorithm bump up, and then more people see it. So like your $5 actually can help do a lot. So just get on there and help us out if you can in any way.
Absolutely. This was me the other night.
Hey, nice.
Orale. That was
Nice.
so fun.
That's a great picture.
That was fun, bro. That was fun. And we got Lou Diamond. It was a great event, man. All right, I'm gonna let you go. We're gonna donate to your Kickstarter as well. We believe in you, and again, congratulations on everything, man.
Thank you so much. All right, talk soon.
All right, peace. There he goes. David Alvarado, Fletcher.
Boom.
I mean, this is how we do. We bring you guests and stuff.
And stuff.